and welcome everyone. In today's session, we will be reading a very interesting poem by the noted and eminent poet Gulzar, right? The name of the poem is The Magical Earth. Now this poem has been written by Gulzar in Hindi and it has been translated by Pawan K. Verma. So let's get started. So, The Magical Earth is one of Gulzar's famous green poems. In this poem, he has expressed his admiration for nature. He has portrayed the earth, Mother Earth, as a wonderful magician. He innocently asks if the earth is magical, that the earth possesses magical qualities. Then after that, he gives a long list of fruits and flowers that the earth gives us. He affirms that the earth knows how to do magic and adds that the earth balances the coconut tree even when there are strong winds. He further says that the earth is capable of taking in anything that falls on its surface. It can consume a lot. It has a big stomach and that stomach never gets filled. It makes fruits sweet and leaves tasteless, flowers colorful. So it certainly possesses magical qualities, right? And he says this repeatedly throughout the poem. Gulzar pays glorious green tributes to Mother Earth. So he portrays the earth as a great magician. Right? Now, before we start with the reading and explanation of the poem, let me tell you something about Gulzar. So, Gulzar is the pen name of Sampurn Singh Kalra, right? So, Gulzar is his professional name. It's his pen name. His original name is Sampurn Singh Kalra, and he was born on 18th August 1934. He's an Indian film director, lyricist and poet. So he is a noted person even in Indian cinema. He has won several national awards, film awards, one Academy Award. He has even been felicitated with the Grammy Award. So, before starting with the poem, let us see the poetic devices as we have studied the poetic devices in the previous poem. So, the poetic devices which we'll come across in this poem are personification, alliteration, imagery, refrain and hypophora. So, let us once again revise the poetic devices. Personification, when abstract qualities or animals are given human qualities, right? So in this poem we'll find that the entire poem is a personification, right? The earth has been described as a great magician. So the entire poem is a personification. Next is alliteration. If you remember, I've explained you alliteration is when in a line when words begin with same consonant sound. So that is alliteration. Next is imagery. Imagery portrays, through imagery the poet creates a picture in the mind of the reader. So in this poem we'll come across two kinds of imagery, that is visual and taste images, right? Now next is refrain. So refrain is a new poetic device that we will learn today. So let us understand what is a refrain. It's nothing but repetition of a phrase or a line throughout a poem. So the same words, same phrase or same line repeated again and again in the poem, right? And the other new poetic device that we will come across in this poem is Hypophora. What is Hypophora? It's nothing. It's a poetic device where, the poet raises a question and then immediately gives the answer. So the poet puts up a question and immediately he gives the answer to that question. So these are the poetic devices which we'll come across in this poem, right? And as far as the rhyme scheme is concerned, there is no rhyme scheme in this poem, right? So now let's start with the poem. There is something indeed in the earth of my garden. Is this earth magical? The earth knows how to do magic. So in the first stanza, the poet says that there is something magical in the earth of my garden, right? And is this earth magical? The earth knows how to do magic. So he himself puts up a question, and then in the next line immediately he answers that the earth knows how to do magic. The earth is a magician. It knows how to do all magical tricks. So in these lines, is this earth magical? The earth knows how to do magic. We get a clear example of Hypophora. So as I told you just now, Hypophora is a poetic device where the poet asks the question and he himself answers in the next line. So this is a clear example of Hypophora. And apart from this, as again I told you, the entire poem is a personification. Here also in this line, there's a beautiful personification where he says that the earth has magical powers. The earth can perform magical tricks. If I sow a guava seed, it gives me guavas. If I put in a jamun kernel, it gives me jamuns. A bitter gourd for a bitter gourd, a lemon for a lemon. So the poet says that if I sow a guava seed, if I sow the seeds of guava, it gives me back the guavas, right? Similarly, if I sow a jamun kernel, what is kernel? The hard inner part of a fruit, right? That's the seed of the fruit. So if I sow a jamun kernel, if I sow a jamun kernel, it gives me jamuns. Once I sow the jamun seed, that is the kernel of the jamun, it gives me back jamuns. A bitter gourd for a bitter gourd, a lemon for a lemon. So if I put a bitter gourd in the soil, in the earth, it gives me back bitter gourds. And similarly, once I put a lemon, it gives me back lemons. So obviously this shows that the earth possesses magical quality, right? Now let us see the poetic devices. In the line, if I sow a guava seed, it gives me guavas. Here we have imagery and alliteration. Sow, seed, these are alliteration. Similarly, guava and gives, again, example of alliteration. In the next two lines again, if I put in a jamun kernel, it gives me jamuns, a bitter gourd for a bitter gourd, a lemon for a lemon. So what do we have here? Yes, we have imagery here. Further, it goes as, if I ask for a flower, it gives me pink flowers. Whatever color I give to it, it returns that to me. Has it hidden all these colors in the soil below? I dug a lot but found nothing. The earth knows how to do magic. So again the poet says, if I ask for a flower, it gives me pink flowers. So if I ask for a flower, so what does the earth do? It gives me back beautiful, lovely pink flowers. Whatever color I give to it, it returns that to me. So whatever color I give, whichever plant I sow, the earth gives me the beautiful flowers of those colors. Has it hidden all these colors in the soil below? So the poet now again with awe, with wonder, he asks, has the earth hidden all these colors in the soil below? I dug a lot but found nothing. So the poet says, I dug the earth, I dug the soil, but I could not find any color inside. There's nothing inside I could find. The earth knows how to do magic. So again he stresses the point that the earth knows how to do magic. The earth possesses magical qualities. Now let us see the poetic devices here. If I ask for a flower, a very clear example of alliteration, it gives me pink flower. So here we have imagery in this line. Whatever color I give to it, it returns that to me. Has it hidden all these colors in the soil below? So has hidden, again a very clear example of alliteration. And then right in the next line, I dug a lot but found nothing. So here what do we see? The poet is asking a question. Has it hidden all these colors in the soil below? So he puts up a question and immediately he says, I dug a lot but found nothing. So he himself answers, he himself gives the reply. So this is again an example of Hypophora. Then in the next line, the earth knows how to do magic. So we see the same line has been repeated again. And which poetic device it is? Yes, it's a refrain, because similar group of words or phrases or line repeated again. Further, the poet says, the earth knows how to do magic. It shows so many tricks. When it balances these long coconut trees on its fingers, it does not even let them fall. The wind does its best, but the earth does not let them fumble. So the poet again repeats the same thing, that the earth possesses magical qualities. The earth is a great magician and it shows so many magical tricks. When it balances these long coconut trees on its fingers, so you must have seen the coconut trees, they are so tall but they do not fall. The earth holds them firmly, and these coconut trees, these tall coconut trees, they stand straight. So this is what the poet is saying, that the earth holds these tall coconut trees, but they do not fall even when there are strong winds, when there are storms. Also the earth holds them, and that's a magic. So it does not even let them fall. The wind does its best. So the wind does its best. That means the wind blows very fast. Very strong winds blow, but the earth does not let them fumble. So the earth does not let them fall. So this again shows that the earth possesses magical qualities. The earth is a great magician. Okay, now let's see the poetic devices. So again, this stanza starts with the line, the earth knows how to do magic. So again, it's a refrain as well as a strong example of personification. Next line also, it shows so many tricks, again personification. When it balances these long coconut trees on its fingers, again personification and imagery. Children, the entire poem is a personification, right? It personifies earth as a magician, right? So the wind does its best, but, so best and but, a very clear example of alliteration. The earth does not let them fumble. Here we have a beautiful imagery. And even when it says, when it balances these long coconut trees on its fingers, that is, it does not even fall, let them fall. Here also there is imagery. Further, the poet says, a sharbat or milk or water, anything may fall, it absorbs them all. How much water does it drink? It gulps down whatever you give. So here in this stanza, the poet says that whatever falls on the ground, it absorbs, on the soil, it absorbs everything. Whether it's sharbat or milk or water. I hope all of you know the meaning of sharbat. It's a fruit drink. All of you must be enjoying sharbat during these days, hot days. So, when sharbat, milk or water, anything falls on the soil, on the earth, it absorbs them all. How much water does it drink? So, how much water does the earth drink? It gulps down whatever you give. So, it gulps down, it swallows everything you give. Right? Now, let us see the poetic devices. A sharbat or milk or water, anything may fall, it absorbs them all. Again, imagery is there. Now, next two lines, how much water does it drink? So, here we have alliteration, does and drink is an example of alliteration, and personification of course is there. And what else is there? Yes, in these two lines, how much water does it drink? It gulps down whatever you give. This is again example of Hypophora. So here the poet asks a question and immediately he gives the reply. He himself answers. So in this line again, it gulps down whatever you give, gulps and give. Again, a clear example of alliteration and imagery as well. Be it from a jug or a bucket, amazingly, its stomach never fills. I have heard that it can even hide a river inside. The earth knows how to do magic. So here in this stanza, the poet says that be it from a jug or a bucket, amazingly its stomach never fills. So whether be it the water or any liquid is falls on it from a jug or even a bucket, the stomach never fills. The stomach of the earth never fills. It can gulp a lot of water, milk or sharbat, whatever falls on it. I have heard that it can even hide a river inside. So very innocently the poet says that he has heard that the earth has such a large stomach that it can even hide a river inside. So a river has a lot of water, and the earth has such a big stomach that it can even absorb the river water. A complete river can be absorbed by the earth. The earth knows how to do magic. So here in this line, its stomach never fills. Again, personification is there. Next line, I have heard that it can even hide a river inside. So it has alliteration and imagery as well. Then the next line, the earth knows how to do magic. So again, it's an example of refrain. Why a refrain? Because the same line has been repeated in the poem. Are there sugar go-downs under the earth or rocks of lime? How does this earth put sweetness into fruits? From where does it get all this? So here in this stanza, the poet says that are there sugar go-downs under the surface of the earth? Are there go-downs, huge stock of sugar under the earth? Or does it have rocks of lime? Because the earth produces such sweet fruits. From where does it give such sweetness to the fruits? How does this earth put sweetness into fruits? How is it that the earth makes the fruits so sweet? I hope all of you know the taste of fruits such as mangoes and apples and cherries and lychees. They all are so tasty and sweet. So this is what the poet says, that from where does it bring so much of sweetness? Does it have sugar go-downs within it? From where does it get all this? So he says, he wonders from where does the earth get all these. So now let us look at the poetic device here. There are beautiful images here, beautiful examples of imagery, especially sweetness into fruits. This is a very good example of taste imagery. Now further, the poet says, pomegranates, plums and mangoes, in all of them sweetness but different kinds. The leaves tasteless but the fruits sweet. The mosambi sweet, the lemon sour. Undoubtedly it knows magic. Otherwise, why is the bamboo tasteless and the sugarcane sweet? So, in the last stanza, the poet gives a list of fruits like pomegranates, plums and mangoes. They all are sweet, but the sweetness is of different kind. You must have noticed, children, that these fruits, maybe different fruits, they have different taste. Right? The taste of an apple and the taste of a mango is not same, it's not similar. All fruits taste different. So this is what the poet is saying, that pomegranates, plums and mangoes, in all of them sweetness but different kinds. The leaves tasteless but the fruits sweet. So how is it that the leaves are tasteless and the fruits are sweet? It's the same tree, but then see again the magical trick played by the earth. It makes the fruits sweet and the leaves tasteless. The mosambi sweet, the lemon sour. So mosambi, lemon, all these are produced, we get from the earth only, from the trees of the earth. But the mosambi tastes sweet and the lemon tastes sour. So why is it? How different? How come they are different? Undoubtedly, it knows magic. So the poet by now is sure that it's only because of magic. The earth is a great magician. Otherwise, why is the bamboo tasteless and the sugarcane sweet? So he ends the poem with a question. He says that the earth is truly a great magician, and that is why the bamboos, the earth makes the bamboos tasteless and the sugarcane sweet. So he leaves the poem at a question note, right? Now let us see the poetic devices here in the last stanza. It's full of imagery, right? We have taste imagery throughout the poem. So with this, we end the poem. I hope all of you have understood. Please read it and watch the video carefully, right? Thank you, children.